StormWatch number 7, written by Paul Jenkins, art by Ignacio Calero. We are starting a new arc after the events of the last one. And this issue opens up with two people in hazmat suits in Chernobyl, Ukraine. And they're walking around and they are getting some readings on a Geiger counter. It's going crazy. And then all of a sudden, one of their bodies has a huge electrified portal thing inside of it. And it kills the other one. And that's our opener. So then we go up to Stormwatch HQ, and Jack Hawksmoor is trying to tell a joke to Martian Manhunter, and doesn't go over that well because he doesn't understand humor. Meanwhile, Martian Manhunter is trying to teach Jenny Quantum how to do 8th-dimensional quantum math or something, and she's not quite getting it. Engineer walks by and she immediately breaks her concentration to ask for a puppy because that's just the thing she wants, I guess. And then Engineer walks into a room where Midnighter and Apollo are keeping watch over the globe, and nothing's really happening. Apparently they set fire to the Himalayas in order to kill something that was there. I think that was the monster horn thing from last arc. And then Apollo's like, hey, Engineer, you seem kind of down in the dumps. Is everything okay? And she's like, yeah, I mean... Harry, the guy who betrayed us, was kind of my boyfriend. So, taking it a bit harder than most. But I'm glad to have you guys around. Thank you for keeping watch. Anyway, I'm going to go down and talk to Charlie, which is apparently the fun little name they gave the Demonite AI that's running the ship. So we get Midnighter and Apollo talking for a while, and then they pick up these scanners of what's going on in Ukraine. And so they get a portal door made, and Apollo heads down to take care of whatever the issue is, and it's causing some interference between communications. But basically, as soon as he gets down there, he's like, this is nothing I can't handle, though the energy does feel a little bit weird. And then a giant light that looks exactly like the other one opens up next to him and starts spewing out these strange tentacle whip-like protrusions or something. So that starts going off, and the alarm starts blaring back at Stormwatch HQ, and everyone rushes into the room. And Midnighter tells them exactly, like, hey, we sent down Apollo, something happened. And Engineer's like, you did what? I am the leader. I told you to run this by me. And he's like, yeah, sorry, we're still learning the whole team thing. What do you want to do? And immediately Engineer's like, all right, we're going to make a door. Jack's going to go through. He's going to talk to the city of Ukraine, or city of Pripyat. And meanwhile, we'll see what we can do about Apollo. So then we cut back to Apollo, and he is not doing hot. He is being, tied up and drained of his energy. These beasts are coming in and doing crazy things. And as Martian Manhunter is seeing this, he says how they're back. And Engineer's like, who's back? Tell me what's going on. And Manhunter just immediately brushes her off and is like, Jenny, hey, you know those equations we're going over? Do you think you got it? And she's basically like, well, I mean, probably, yeah, I think I got it. And so he's like, cool, all right, we got to head down. And Engineer's like, no one's going down there until I know what's going on. She's like, Manhunter just jumps in like, if you trust me, if you understand that this is a crisis, and you trust me, let me do this, and I promise I'll explain on the way back. There's no time. So she opens up a door. Jenny, Q, and Manhunter go down. And basically just tells them how, keep them in some sort of weird in-between states of quantum fluctuation or whatever, and Jenny uses her abilities to do so while Manhunter runs in, grabs Apollo, and starts running her way out. But as he's doing so, Jenny is really struggling to keep these things contained, and he tells her to try to contain just one of them and bring it through the door with them. And she does so, and it brings through, and a giant lightning storm happens. And as it comes through, Manhunter tells him, Engineer, you got to tell the ship to make this crazy quantum thing. And Engineer's like, ship, if you understood any of that, do it. And it does, and it contains the thing that is attacking for now. Then we cut over to Jack, who's walking through, I don't know, a building of cities, as weird as that sounds, all of them personified. And we have Pripyat, where Chernobyl took place, in a hospital bed, seemingly with cancer, as is fitting, and it has two caretakers, which are Hiroshima and Nagasaki. for what should be obvious reasons. And basically, they're like, yeah, he's not doing hot. He's really on his last legs here, and we're doing everything we can. But Jack comes up and basically asks, like, hey, do you know what's going on? Is there anything that you know? And he doesn't, but he does scream out how they're monsters and we're invisible to them. I lit a candle for them by mistake. So Jack's like, all right, that'll be fine. And Pripyat asks, like, hey, Jack, you're the god of cities. Am I going to get better? And he's like, yeah, you're going to get better. And Pripyat's like, soon? And he's like, no, not soon. And he walks out. So at that point, Apollo's coming to, and they're asking Midnighter and him, like, okay, do you know what happened? And he's like, no, we just reacted. We didn't see them actually show up. And as they're doing this, the strand that they had built, the strand that they had captured and built that thing around is starting to break free and start breaking out. And Jenny tries to use her powers to contain it, but it's just getting too strong. And as it lashes out, it attacks Apollo, and it seems to, like, disintegrate him. Like, he's not there anymore. So an engineer goes up to Manhunter and is just like, hey, all right, no more games, tell me what it is. And apparently it's an ancient enemy that's known to the Martians as well as the Daemonites that exists in a parallel dimension that doesn't even know that this dimension, like, exists. Like, it doesn't pay them any sort of mind. But when Chernobyl happened, apparently some rare things were made, and these people on this alternate plane, they actually have to mine for gravity. Like, it's a commodity, and they came here because it was like a rare form of a graviton or something was made. So they are here to mine for our gravity and are messing up the universe because of it. So yeah, that's it. And then Jenny Q asked for a puppy. Hell of a big idea, mining for gravity. I'm give it to him on that. I'm liking it so far, but it seems it's striking me again as like the beginning of the first arc, where it's just throwing a whole bunch of big stuff that doesn't make any sense, and then we'll slowly get more understanding as we progress. Not a bad thing, but definitely something that hurts the individual issue. Like, the arc will be great, but the individual issue is kind of hurt by it because you're just sitting there going, what? Huh? What? So, yeah, overall, I'll give it a 6. And again, I like it. It's just the thing of it's hurt by they're just throwing out all this exposition now so they don't have to do it later. Or I guess all of the inciting incidents now so they don't have to really worry about doing the big bombastic thing later. So we'll see how it goes, but I am interested at the very least.